Oh my god, there's been more mama drama.
I was unable to take my daughter to the emergency room today because somebody else listed themselves as her mother. So let's talk about it.
Wow. And this revolving around, there's this woman called Tiffany. She is telling a story on how her ex-husband's girlfriend, who she now knows as the fiance, all right, has actually like secretly been taking her daughter to the ER. It hasn't been getting back to the mum.
She blocked me on TikTok recently, so I'm out of the loop.
So she has found out that actually the fiance has been pretending to be her daughter's mum, and she's obviously not very happy about it. You may be wondering how would this ever happen? Well, I'm going to tell you how. The kids had gone away with the dad, and when they came back, Tiffany noticed that one of her kids just didn't look right, was really lethargic, didn't want to do much. She was just overall quite concerned. So Tiffany ended up messaging the dad being like, hey, have you taken her to the hospital? Has she been sick? Like, has anything happened? Because she doesn't feel like the same child. And the dad was like, no, all good.
Fast forwarding, we get home, and like I said, my daughter is not acting normal, and I know something is wrong. I end up texting her father, who she was with, and her grandma is her dad's mom, just trying to ask, like, how was she this morning? Was something off? Like, you guys gave her back to me and something is wrong. Like, did anyone notice anything? Both said she was perfect and fine, and no one had noticed anything, which is a little bit hard for me to believe, but alas. Ended up taking her temperature, seeing that she has a low-grade temp, but she was super, super lethargic. I'm talking not standing up, not acting like herself, not talking, not wanting to do anything other than lay in her bed, which is not like her at all. She wouldn't eat, take a bottle, anything. So at that point, I make some arrangements and I'm able to take her into the ER.
So Tiffany then takes her daughter down to an ER. Now this ER she had never been to with her daughter before, so she was fully expecting to go in there and have to like sign all the varying paperwork that you get. When she tried to fill in the stuff, it came back as a big like, sorry, this child is already registered here and it's not under your details. Yeah, so Tiffany is there like going up and being like, hey, yeah, so how's that possible? Because I've never been here before. Come to find out that actually a woman had come down, registered details, and was saying that they were the mum, or like the receptionist thought that that was the mum.
Immediately she takes my daughter's information again and she's looking and she's like, Mom, like, I think we already have you in the system. Just give me your ID so that we can verify you this way. Maybe the phone numbers got messed up. So I give her my ID and right away she looks at me and she's like, you're her mom? And I'm like, yeah, I'm her mom. This is my ID, whatever. And so she ends up kind of like looking deeper and she's like, are you so-and-so? She says the name of her father's girlfriend. And right away I'm like, no, I am not so-and-so. And she's like, we have her listed as the mother. And I'm like, was there not like another spot or something? Maybe there was a mix-up. And she was like, no, there's like another spot. Like if she's put as the mother, she came in saying she was the mother. She goes on to tell me that my daughter's father's on there, the girlfriend's on there, and there's mom is on there. So 3 people listed on there, me, not one of them.
Tiffany was never mentioned on the system. So the dad was mentioned, the gran was mentioned, but the mum was not mentioned. Now keep this in mind, Tiffany in later videos goes on to say, so the fiance had Tiffany's mobile number because they'd been in communication before. So, you know, it would have been a possibility to get some of her information down. And it turns out that actually the daughter had been to the ER because she must have been. It wasn't a while ago. She had literally been recently. Yet the dad hadn't mentioned it and neither had the fiance.
So that is definitely where I am like a little bit like, what the heck just happened? Especially because then it caused my daughter to have to sit in the waiting room much longer while they tried to verify me as her mom. And now, of course, I did reach out to my daughter's father and basically ask him about this situation. And it was pretty much met with the fact that it was not intentional at all, that I wasn't listed, and it must have been a mistake on their end or miscommunication or something like that. Even if it was a miscommunication about why they listed her or about why they listed her as the mom or something like that, regardless, I still should have been listed on something on my daughter's medical records and medical stuff. right? And in our parenting plan and stuff like that, we do have things that are listed out basically saying that both of us have to be listed on things like this, especially medical records and medical appointments and stuff like that.
Now I'm thinking, like, is it possible that, the fiance told the dad and the dad just like couldn't be bothered to tell the mum? That is very, very possible. Could it be that neither one of them felt the need to tell the mum, even though like the mum should always be made aware? Also, what I'm not really quite understanding is like, why couldn't the dad have just like taken the child? So as you can imagine, people were furious. Someone said, hey, so that's illegal. Someone else said, she's trying to make medical decisions for your daughter. Please make sure you document this with the court. Someone else said, the way it was listed was so that the girlfriend could make medical decisions for your daughter. You need to set boundaries related to her health. Someone else said, as a former stepmom, do not let this slide. This was intentional because when I took in my stepdaughter, I made it aware I was stepmom and covering because neither parent was available. So to please send something to parents as well for them. Someone said, please correct me if I'm wrong, but can't that be seen as parental alienation? This is the thing. If that was me, I would have contacted the mum straight away. Because why the hell wouldn't you? It's weird to not contact the mum. Like, if the dad can't be with you or the dad can't take their own child, then surely you would contact the mum. Anyway, so Tiffany then goes back and confronts the dad. And the dad said, oh no, it was all just a massive miscommunication. What made it even more annoying was that when the daughter was diagnosed with a double ear infection with like actual blisters in her ear, they then had medication sent to the pharmacist. And when Tiffany arrived at the pharmacist, they had to go through this whole ordeal once more because guess what? Like, the name was not listed, like the address was not listed as the mum. So the mum once again had to prove that she was the mum because her address had never been listed on the document.
We go ahead and provide both of the addresses that my daughter resides at, and sure enough, neither one were actually listed as the address on file. Then went ahead and made getting her medicine a whole entire process as well. I did go ahead, same thing, and ask about why there was another address listed on file and letting him know that it almost prevented me from being able to pick up her antibiotics. That message was never answered,
which is just absolutely crazy. Like, whether or not it was the fiance that did all of the like signing with the home addresses, or if it was actually the dad, that is like, you are alienating a parent. Like, you're not including their address and their numbers. You would be able to find, if you were the fiance, you'd be able to text the mum or you'd be able to send a message to the dad. That wasn't even like a thought process. It wasn't even like a thing. It kind of feels like both the fiance and the dad are working at like trying to keep the mum out of the situation. So it turns out that actually this has been going on for a little while, and that Tiffany has been made to feel like she is the crazy one whenever she's had to be in any discussions with the dad and the fiance. She does also point out in another video that in actual fact, like, the fiance will be being told misinformation by the dad. And I think this is really important, because as much as I do think that it is out of line for not contacting Tiffany, and if what Tiffany's saying is like true, in the sense that both of them make her feel like she's going crazy, like she's had interactions with both of them and they've both made her feel like this, then that is horrible. However, it could also be very much the dad telling the fiance that, he's already checked it with Tiffany, or, oh, don't contact Tiffany because of this, like telling her information that's not actually true.
But it's kind of hard taking what Tara says at face value sometimes, just because, like I said, there have been multiple situations and occasions where she really believes that she knows the situation or what's going on because of what Christian is telling her, and it's just not the truth. And that's when she comes to me, and I kind of have to be like, whoa, this is not the case, and this is the case, and he's lying to you. It's just very frustrating.
And I'm not going to go like into this story because it's to do with my kids and I'm not bringing us up really. I have had like similar experiences, not this, but I can understand if things obviously get twisted. I then can also understand having like partners having like exes, new partners, just literally hate you for no apparent reason. Like that's happened to me. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. And it's like, do they have a problem with me because I'm just like the ex, or do they have a problem with me because my ex is telling them things? However, Tiffany says, they both make her feel like she's crazy. So maybe this is very much just like a two-way thing.
I think the truth of it so much is that when I reach out to their father or basically to any of these people, it's always met with like me being the crazy delusional one. And after a certain point, that definitely messes with your brain.
But it doesn't end there, because the fiance actually reaches out. So the fiance's name is Tara, right? I swear we've covered drama with a Tiffany and a Tara before. Oh, I'm getting weird like flashbacks to everyone that we've covered recently.
Put her out there or tag her, but she has decided, instead of reaching out to me, to comment. So I guess we're gonna go through her entire comment. I actually have it pulled up here. I'll go through it and give you guys my 2 cents.
But yeah, the fiance actually reaches out. Tiffany screenshotted it and said she deleted her comment in about 2 hours before I could reply. Yeah, because I went and tried to find it and I couldn't find it. Tara said, "Hey, fiance here. I just wanted to clarify that I never said I was the mum. I'm a mother myself. I would never do that to another mum. I've always known my place and been respectful. Tiffany has given her ex the go-ahead to allow me to take a child to urgent care before. I would never have taken her without both parents' permission. That's what I did this time. I signed her in online under her father's name and just clicked continue when asked if all info was the same." Yeah, so Tiffany does in fact comment on this, and she is she has my thoughts. She's like, number one, as far as she was aware, this child had never been to this ER before. So obviously they had been to this ER because it said click continue. And number two, when Tara walked in, she had to do all of these forms. Like, before anything ever came back as like, you can't because you're not the person listed on file, she still was sent away with a load of forms. So it's not adding up. It's not seeming like that is what's going on with everything.
That's what I did this time. I signed her in online under her father's name, and I just clicked continue when asked if all the info was the same. First of all, I don't know, same thing, you guys tell me if I'm crazy. If she was taking her and my child's father was not there, why are you signing her in under dad? Dad is not there. Am I missing something or no? Also, it's being kind of made to seem like she just looked, asked if all the info was the same, and did not fill out any forms on her behalf, which is just not true, because when you go in, you have to fill out forms. You have to sign the consent forms. You have to put, I was there and I had to put information down. Also, by her saying that there was stuff already in the system confirms and tells me that this is not the first time my child has been taken to this urgent care, or one of my children have been taken to this urgent care. Because if the information was already there, then they've clearly been there before, another time that I don't know about.
Yeah, and the thing is, I can also fully understand how infuriating it must be, because from Tiffany's end, she's like, look, do you have a problem with me, or is this purely just Tara's being fed misinformation by the dad? Is this the dad poisoning the well, or is this you trying to alienate me and like shut me out of my own child's life? Do you know? Tiffany
was informed by dad immediately after the appointment about the ear infection and what medication they prescribed. I was informed that she had a double ear infection. I was not informed where she went, or who took her, or that dad was not present, or that none of my information was even given or listed or anything like that. She says, it's extremely hard being in the middle of a messy divorce, but I'm doing my best just to focus on the children to make sure they are safe and loved, which thank you, and I appreciate that. But too many things get slipped under the rug, and that's what kind of makes me crazy. Truth is, you guys, this is not the first time that issues like this have come about, where I have reached out to not only my child's father, but also to Tara. And while for the most part we have always had pretty decent talks and conversations, it has been made abundantly clear that Christian, my ex, is not giving her true information about some of the stuff that goes on. So that's what's kind of been frustrating, because there's been times that she's come to me saying a bunch of misinformation. She has texted me before kind of being like, maybe I shouldn't say anything because that's not the information that Christian told me, and this is a very different situation. I'm not on here right now trying to bash her. First of all, like I said, I wasn't even going to say her name in the video. I wasn't going to tag her, nothing. Yes, I'm on here talking my truth, but I'm not trying to blatantly blast her, okay? She put herself here, so hello, I know you're watching. I don't know. I struggle with the fact that these issues go on. And whatever, I am starting to ramble, but it's kind of hard taking what Tara says at face value sometimes, just because, like I said, there have been multiple situations and occasions where she really believes that she knows the situation or what's going on because of what Christian is telling her, and it's just not the truth.
These situations are so toxic and so nasty. The dad, I reckon, has like resentment or has like issues with Tiffany, even if they say that they don't or whatnot. They clearly do if they're withholding information, like literally lying to your face, making her feel crazy. Yeah, he blatantly has like harbored resentment towards her, which is not healthy. Like, it's literally not healthy at all. Like, the only people that should matter in this whole situation are the kids. And I think like trying to co-parent is like, co-parenting is one thing. Co-parenting successfully without any animosity and it just being about the kids is incredibly difficult, especially if you have had a very bad end to the relationship and there's been big fireworks, big explosions. You know, it's been hell. Trying to get past that and to dust off all the cobwebs and all the chaos and rubble that has fallen, to then prioritize having your kids be front and center in all of this is actually harder. And I know that might sound like insane. It's like, well, you should always put your kids first. It's like, yeah, that's not what I'm saying. You can think you're putting your kids first, but you can then be doing things which is not thinking of the kids, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to hurt the other person. You're like saying things to the kids, or you're like withholding information, or you're like being purposefully difficult with changeovers, or like you've got a girlfriend or a new partner and they are making life difficult for the other person. Like, loads of different things. You think like, oh, I'm doing a really good job being a parent, thinking, oh, I'm putting the kids first, but actually you're not, because you're putting your own like resentment and stuff towards the other person, towards the ex, towards the other parent, before the kids. But my whole point is that I think he has, like, it sounds like he has some like issues to work through with Tiffany, and that is being pushed, or it's being spurred on by the fiance. It's like whichever one it is, you know?
She is a mom. She has a daughter who she is not with the father of anymore. And she gets that these situations can be hard. And I feel like if the situation was put on her, she would kind of feel like, what the hell happens too? And so it's kind of hard to just hear her kind of be like, oh, this is what happened and it was a simple mistake, when she had the power to make sure things were handled okay. That's what I think it goes back to at the same time, where if my ex wanted to be an asshole and not list me and fuck around with everything that we have going on, that's fucking one thing. But for her to basically come off how she has to me, in a way of being a girl's girl and a mom who truly gets it, she enables a lot of his shitty behavior. And I don't know. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, loads of people are saying similar things, and they think it's a really sketchy situation. Someone said, this is why I always keep a copy of my kid's birth certificate and custody orders with me. I can't tell you how many times I've had to prove I'm their mum and what my rights are. That's insane. Tiffany says, this is insane that it has to be done so often. Yeah. But once again, dad is not putting the kids first. The dad is literally putting his own hurt, bruised ego and whatever front and center, and it's going to impact the kids. As a mum, wouldn't you want to immediately reach out to mum to let her know what's going on, rather than just take her to urgent care secretly? Yeah, this is the thing. Someone said this, especially because when she asked them if they noticed the child's fever, they lied and said no. They were taking the daughter to doctors and lying to the mother about it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, why, this is another thing, like, why lie? Why lie? Is it to make the mum look bad? Like, I don't understand what your purpose is for lying. It's just, yeah, and like someone said, it is disrespectful. It's also not putting kids first. And it's just ultra sad. Like, this dad and whatnot are probably just thinking there, just being like, oh yeah, like, I'm such a good parent because, like, you know, I have a custody agreement, like, I go do this and that with my child. But it's like, the mental stuff that you're doing to your children is so messed up. And trust and believe, when they get older, they will realize, like, what parent really had their back in all of this. Hopefully they'll really see, unless, like, alienation takes such a strong hold. But usually kids work it out when they get older, like, what has actually happened. Like, that's just my thought process on it anyway, just like from, like, having mates and stuff that have grown up being told one thing about their parent, and then actually it's not the truth. And it's like, just keep showing up. But this whole, like, parental alienation thing is so gross. But she says, she's like, everyone's telling me to go to court and to file, but it costs time and money. And I fully understand that. I think it's really easy to just tell people, like, oh, you should go to court, you should go do this and that. And it's like, but who's paying for it, me or you, do you know? So I understand fully what she means by that. Yeah, I really hope she gets it sorted, because, by the sounds of it, that does not that does not sound good whatsoever. But I would love to hear everyone else's thoughts and feelings on it. What do you think? What do you think about what we just spoke about? Do you have experience with that kind of stuff? Do you think it is the start, or if not, parental alienation actually happening? Do you think the fiance is being brainwashed by the dad, or do you think they're both in on it together? I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching today's video. This is actually a pre-recorded video. Woo. So I'm still not back until Saturday. But yes, I am currently away right now. Not back until Saturday, but when I get back, I will make sure that I make it known that it is not a pre-recorded video. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone else is having a fantastic Easter holidays. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. I'll catch up with you guys in the next video.